What is going on, everybody? It's Matthew, your local bro. Hope you guys are doing amazing. So today we are back at it again with the craziest miracle moments in the entire NFL history. So upsetting games, blowing big leads, stuff like that, bro. All the good stuff in this video. If you want to support the channel, leave a like down below to support me, your local bro. Comment down below as well what you guys want to see in the next video. And if you haven't done it already, guys, I won't tell anyone, but make sure that you subscribe to almost out on any more reactional content. Without further ado, let's dive right into the video.
Some NFL moments can change the course of history. Dynasties are born and legends are created. Today, we revisit some of the most miraculous plays the NFL has ever seen.
Let's go! Woo!
Minneapolis Miracle. Up
Okay.
17-0 at the half, the Minnesota Vikings were ready for the NFC Championship game. Until, in typical Minnesota Vikings fashion, they blew it. The Saints came back from the early deficit and took the first lead of the game with 3 minutes to play. Field goals for each team gave the ball back to the Vikings with 25 seconds left. With
Whoa, what?
time running out, the Vikings knew their only hope was to complete a pass near the sideline and pray they could get out of bounds to attempt the go-ahead field goal. But
Okay.
no one was prepared for what
Bro, look at that wig, though. This guy is having a wig.
was to follow. Quarterback Case Keenum looked in the direction of Stephon Diggs near the sideline, and Saints rookie safety Marcus Williams was in the perfect position to make the play on Diggs to end the game. Then, the unimaginable. Williams seemingly ducked out of the way, and Diggs was as surprised as anyone
That catch!
when he saw that there was nothing but green grass between him and the end zone to score the first ever walk-off touchdown in NFL postseason history. Mile High Miracle. Peyton Manning was playing his first season for his new team, the Denver Broncos. But even the great Peyton Manning couldn't possibly see what was to come. He led them to their best record in the AFC. After a first-round bye, they hosted the Baltimore Ravens in the divisional round. The Broncos were in control heading into the final stages of the game. Winning 35-28 with the ball in the final 2 minutes, they decided to kill as much clock as possible and punt. The Ravens had no timeouts, and the Broncos were pretty confident in their defense. With less than 45 seconds on the clock, facing 3rd down and 3, and Joe Flacco went for it all. A blown coverage by the Broncos' second
Just gotta say, some of you guys said that Joe Flacco was terrible. Let me know, was he like that bad?
allowed Jacoby Jones to get behind them and score the game-tying touchdown, sending the game into overtime.
Oh,
A
okay.
Peyton Manning interception in the second overtime period allowed the Ravens to get into field goal range. Justin Tucker converted the 47-yard kick and sent the Ravens to the AFC Championship game.
Wow.
Music City Miracle.
Damn.
In 1999, the Titans played their first ever playoff game in Tennessee. After a franchise-best 13-3 season, the Titans faced the Bills in the AFC wildcard game. With just 16 seconds left and no timeouts remaining, the Bills opted to kick the go-ahead field goal on 3rd down to put them up 16-15. Bills players were celebrating on the sideline, and they were on their way to the next round. Little did they know the Titans had prepared for this exact situation. Head coach Jeff Fisher had installed the perfect special teams play, and the Bills wouldn't know what hit them. The kick was fielded by Lorenzo Neal at the 25, who pitched it back to Frank Wycheck, who threw it across the field to Kevin Dyson with a lane and blockers in front. Dyson took it 75 yards and scored the game-winning touchdown, sending shockwaves to the league. If that wasn't bad enough, the Bills failed to get back into the playoffs for 18 years.
What? My God, that was a real breaker, bro.
The helmet catch. Eli Manning may have been a middle-of-the-pack quarterback during the regular
First off, before we start, was Eli Manning better than Peyton Manning? Let me know.
season, but the postseason is when he played the best football of his career. The 16-0 New England Patriots came into this game as overwhelming favorites. No one in their right minds picked the Giants to win. The Giants, on the other hand, were the 5th seed in the NFC and coming off a narrow overtime victory over the Packers in the NFC Championship game.
Nice.
It was a very low-scoring game heading into the final 2 minutes. The Patriots led 14-10. The Giants got the ball back on the 16-yard line with the opportunity to win the Super Bowl. The drive almost came to a tragic end when cornerback Asante Samuel had the ball in his hands. Luckily for Eli and the Giants, he dropped the game-winning interception.
No! Oh, not that I root for any team, but imagine the stress, bro. This guy gotta feel so bad about it.
Then the following play would send shockwaves around the world. The Patriots defense had Eli Manning within their grasp, ready to sack him, but somehow he managed to pull away and throw a 40-yard bomb to David Tyree, who caught the ball on his helmet with a defender all over him. The Giants went on to score and become champions, and the helmet catch would go down as one of the greatest plays in NFL history.
Bro, that's legendary.
Malcolm Butler interception. Super Bowl 49, the New England Patriots versus...
I think it's so funny, you know, when they talk about all the Super Bowls in recent history, you always have the Patriots, bro. It's so funny.
The defending champion Seattle Seahawks. The back-and-forth encounter would be decided by arguably the worst play call in NFL history. Tom Brady and the Patriots were down by 10 with 9 minutes to go. The Seahawks boasted the #1 defense and the #1 rushing attack in the league that year.
Legion of Boom?
Both recipes to hold on to a lead in the fourth quarter. But when the GOAT is on the other side, you just know you're in for a nail-biting finish.
True.
2 touchdowns in the next 2 drives gave the Patriots a 4-point lead with just over 2 minutes to play. Undrafted rookie Malcolm Butler had come into the game in the second half to replace Kyle Arrington, who was struggling all night. On the last drive, Butler was targeted again, and it appeared as though he had made another important play to break up the pass. But the ball bobbled on Jermaine Kearse's legs, and he made the catch while on his back. The Seahawks had the ball on the 6-yard line with plenty of time.
What was that catch, though? That gotta be 1 in a billion.
Everyone knew exactly what should happen. Give it to beast mode. He was stopped on the 1-yard line. Then came arguably the worst play call in the history of sports. Instead of giving it back to the best power back in the league, they decided to put the ball in the air. The play was read.
Why? Why would you do that? That's dumb.
Perfectly. The Patriots were...
I know that. I don't even know anything about the sport.
Ready. Malcolm Butler jumped the pass and intercepted it to end the game and seal the Super Bowl for the Patriots. The comeback. When Hall of Fame quarterback Warren Moon had the Houston Oilers up 28-3 at halftime, they were ready for Pittsburgh in the AFC divisional round in 1993. On the other sideline, the Buffalo Bills had backup quarterback Frank Reich, who was starting his first game that season. The second half couldn't have started in a worse way for the Bills. Reich threw a pass that bounced off of tight end Keith McKellar into the hands of safety Bubba McDowell, who returned it for a touchdown, making it 35-3. But Reich was no stranger to massive comebacks. In college, he replaced starter Stan Gelbaugh to come back from a 31-0 deficit and win the game 42-40 against the
How can you even pull off a comeback like that, bro? That's not normal.
Miami Hurricanes. Reich had been here before, only now the stakes were much higher. This time when the Bills got the ball back, they made no mistakes. Reich was flawless, and the Bills scored 28 unanswered points to make it a 4-point game heading into the fourth quarter. With just 3:08 left, Reich threw a 17-yard touchdown pass to Andre Reed to take their first lead of the
Bro, that's a juicy bicep right there.
game. The Oilers, who were outscored 35-7 in the second half, needed to come up with something if they wanted to save their season. Moon answered, and he led the Oilers 63 yards to score the game-tying field goal and send the game to overtime.
Just gotta ask, are the Oilers the Indianapolis... No, Oilers. Is that the Houston Texans right now? Guys, let me know.
Houston won the toss and got the ball. After just 2 plays, Moon threw an interception in Oilers territory, and a face mask called on the offense placed the Bills on the 20-yard line. 2 short runs later, Bills kicker Stephen Christie stepped up from 32 yards and nailed the game winner. The biggest comeback in NFL history was complete. Immaculate reception.
Bro, that's insane, bro. These comebacks are just insane.
The play that started the Steelers dynasty in the 70s is still one of the biggest mysteries in sports. It's the 1972 AFC divisional round. The Pittsburgh Steelers are down by 1 against the Raiders with less than 30 seconds to play, facing a 4th and 10.
Steelers and the Raiders is a kind of big rivalry, right?
Quarterback Terry Bradshaw drops back to take the snap and is under pressure almost instantly. He rolls out to the right and fires a pass 50 yards down the field, looking for receiver John Fuqua, which is broken up by safety.
Receiver, bro. Is this a receiver? Bro, this guy is bigger than the average cow that I'm eating my ribs from. Look at this dude, bro. This is a bison. This is a full-grown mammoth.
Jack Tatum. The game is over, or at least we thought it was. The ball popped up into the air, and Steelers fullback Franco Harris caught it just before it hit the ground and was on his way to the end zone to win the game for the Steelers. Decades later, people still debate whether or not the tip of the ball hit the ground or if Harris caught it cleanly. Either way, it will go down as arguably the most miraculous play in NFL history. Miracle in Miami. When a team needs a touchdown with time for just 1 play and a lot of field to cover, a Hail Mary is the most common course of action. That's what the Patriots were expecting too, as they even put in Rob Gronkowski to try and defend against it. But with 70 yards to go, not many humans in the world can throw a football that far. So the Dolphins attempted to score playing backyard football, something that almost never works. Ryan Tannehill had the 15-yard completion.
What's backyard football?
To Kenny Stills. All the Patriots needed to do was make the tackle. Before he was taken down, he lateraled to Devontae Parker, who lateraled to Kenyon Drake on the 50-yard line. In any other situation, the game ends at this point, but not this time. Drake weaved his way through defenders until a lane
Whoa. These guys were passing the ball flip-flop to each other?
opened, and guess who was the last
Tiki-taka style?
line of defense? Rob Gronkowski. Gronk didn't have the angle to make the tackle, and Drake scored, leaving the 9-3 Patriots in shock. The last thing you would expect from a Bill Belichick team. The sea of hands. In 1974,
What a disrespectful touchdown as well.
the Dolphins were widely expected to go back to the Super Bowl and win it for the third time in a row. Instead, the most improbable play ended one of the best dynasties in NFL history. Down 5 points with 35 seconds to go, the Raiders knew that if there was a time to make a play, it was now. The Raiders had it first and goal with 8 yards to go. Quarterback Ken Stabler took the snap, rolled out to his left, being chased by a defender, and just as he was getting sacked, he floated the ball towards the end zone in the direction of running back Clarence Davis. Davis turned what looked to be a certain interception to end the game into an incredible grab between 3 Dolphin defenders to win the game. Looking back at it now, probably an ill-advised throw, but that's what makes a miracle, right? The catch.
Bro, that's just insane.
There's nothing like beating your conference rivals in heartbreaking fashion to start a dynasty
I want you guys to comment down below which one of these ones are your favorite, by the way.
of your own. In 1981, that's exactly what the San Francisco 49ers did. This game would go on to shift the balance of power in the NFC for a decade and would see the 49ers West Coast offense become more prominent around the league. The Cowboys had represented the NFC in 3 of the last 6 Super Bowls and firmly earned the name America's team. The 49ers, on the other hand, had never been to the big game. San Fran was down by 6 with less than 5 minutes to play when Montana got the ball on their own 10-yard line. 14 plays and 84 yards later, the 49ers were within touching distance of taking the lead and booking a ticket to their first ever Super Bowl. Joe Montana took the snap and began to roll right. He waited till the last second and put the ball where only his receiver, Dwight Clark, could grab it. The 49ers took the lead with less than a minute left, securing the conference championship. They went on to win that year, and over the next 10 years, Joe Montana would lead the 49ers to 3 more Super Bowls. The Hail Mary,
insane.
91 yards and less than 2 minutes separated the Dallas Cowboys and elimination in the 1975 playoffs. The third-ranked Minnesota Vikings defense was pretty confident they would be able to see out the game when the Cowboys were faced with a 4th and
Was that the purple people eaters or something like that?
16 on their own 20-yard line, but quarterback Roger Staubach had other plans. To this point, both offenses struggled to make big plays. The Cowboys needed just that to save their season. Staubach took the snap and threw a bomb to Drew Pearson, who made a brilliant catch on the sideline at midfield. The following play would change the NFL forever. Staubach dropped back and threw a 50-yard prayer up to Pearson in double coverage. The pass was underthrown, but Pearson came back for it. The ball went through his hands, and he caught it between his elbow and his hip. When asked after the game, Staubach admitted that he closed his eyes and said a Hail Mary while the ball was in the air. This was the birth of the name Hail Mary, and it allowed Pearson to walk into the
So Hail Mary is just like throwing and hoping, like throwing just a long ball and hoping someone catches it?
end zone, sending the Cowboys to the NFC Championship game. Miracle at the Meadowlands. When a team is leading with 30 seconds to go and the other team has no way to stop the clock, common sense suggests that kneeling the ball would be the smartest thing to do. But prior to the 1978 matchup between the Giants and Eagles, the QB kneel hadn't been created yet, therefore making way for a miracle. Giants fans were already celebrating the win over their division rivals in a game that had playoff implications, as they were winning 17-12 with 30 seconds to go, and the Eagles had no timeouts. Then the unexplainable happened. Quarterback Joe Pisarcik went under center and the ball was snapped before he was ready. Instead of just falling on it, he decided to spin around and hand it off to fullback Larry Zonko,
and he drops
had no idea the ball was being handed off to him. The ball ended up on the ground, and cornerback Herm Edwards scooped it up to return it for the game-winning touchdown for the Philadelphia Eagles. Miracle at the Meadowlands 2. Look away, Giants fans, because once again, you are on the wrong end of history. The Giants were cruising with a 31-10
Bro, they seem to be choking a lot against the Eagles.
lead over the Eagles with just under 8 minutes to go. Even the most optimistic Eagles fans couldn't possibly think they had a chance to come back and make this a game. But when you have 2 of the most explosive athletes in the league in Michael Vick and Deshaun Jackson, the impossible
Did Michael Vick play on the Eagles? I had no clue.
becomes a little more realistic. Vic threw a 65-yard touchdown to tight end Brent Selleck to bring the game within 14, and a ballsy decision to go for the onside kick paid off. The Eagles recovered with 7:20 to play in the game. In just 6 plays from scrimmage, the Eagles were back within 1 possession of tying the game. Now it was on the Eagles' defense to try and get a stop to give their offense one last opportunity to go down and complete this incredible comeback. They obliged. Vic and the offense got the ball back and drove down 88 yards and tied the game with a minute to go. On the following drive, the Giants went 3 and out, and they would punt to Deshaun Jackson with 12 seconds left. The Giants simply had to stop Jackson from getting into the end zone, and they would have a chance to go to overtime and try their luck. Jackson, who hadn't returned a punt for a touchdown all season, initially muffed the punt, and the play looked dead. And maybe it would have been for anyone but D-Jack. He picked it up, found a gap, and he was gone. Walk-off touchdown for the Eagles. One of the biggest fourth-quarter comebacks in NFL history.
Bro, that's just...
was complete.
I couldn't even like catch the last part, bro, because that was just... I can't believe also like... Bro, these guys gotta be jinxed, because if you blew a lead 2 times against the same team, bro, there's gotta be some problems up here, bro. The mind game is gonna be all over the place. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Leave a like down below if you liked it, and comment what you want to see in the future. Also, don't forget to smash the subscribe button to miss out on any more reactional content. That's everything for today, guys. I'll catch you guys around in the next one.